There is a quiet presence within you, subtle but unwavering, a Bodhisattva who lives in the folds of your heart. You might not see it with your eyes, but you feel it in moments of stillness, in the gentle pause between one thought and the next. When you open your books to study, the Bodhisattva leans close, whispering patience and clarity. Difficult concepts no longer feel like obstacles. They are opportunities to awaken understanding. You memorize formulas and histories not just to perform well on tests, but to recognize the patterns of life, the interconnection of cause and effect, of actions and consequences. At work, the Bodhisattva moves with you in subtle ways. When a colleague is harsh, your internal guide reminds you to respond with calmness rather than reaction. When a task feels tedious or overwhelming, the Bodhisattva breathes a steady rhythm into your chest. One step at a time, one act of care, one offering of skill. You begin to notice how your work can serve more than just yourself. Emails, reports, presentations. These become vehicles of compassion when approached with awareness. The Bodhisattva smiles at your small acts of kindness, whether it is helping a coworker carry a heavy load or listening deeply to someone who needs to be heard. When you step outside into the bustling streets, the Bodhisattva walks invisibly beside you. Crowds, noise, and chaos might swirl around, but inside you, there's stillness. A driver cuts you off in traffic, and the Bodhisattva nudges your heart to pause, to see the fear or frustration driving their anger, to respond with understanding rather than hostility. The stranger drops a bag, and without thought, you help them, feeling the quiet joy of service ripple through your being. Even in small, unnoticed gestures, the Bodhisattva is present, guiding your actions. At night, when the day folds into memory, you sit quietly and remember the Bodhisattva within. You reflect on moments of patience, of insight, of compassion. Some days you falter. Impatience, greed, or frustration slip in. But the Bodhisattva never scolds. Instead, it simply reminds you, awareness is always the first step. Each mistake is a chance to practice again. Each ordinary action is a chance to awaken. And slowly, day by day, life transforms. Study becomes more than learning. It becomes understanding. Work becomes more than earning. It becomes serving. Walking the streets becomes more than moving. It becomes witnessing and responding with care. You begin to see the threads connecting all beings, the ways your small actions ripple outwards. The Bodhisattva is not something separate from you. It is you, the deepest, wisest part of yourself, waiting to be remembered and used. Eventually, you no longer need to remind yourself consciously. In the silent whisper of morning, in the rush of work, in the clamor of the city, you naturally act from the presence within. The Bodhisattva is there, not as an external guide, but as the quiet song of your own heart, teaching you that wisdom and compassion are not distant ideals. They are your living reality. And so, life unfolds with quiet grace, and the world reflects back what the Bodhisattva has always known. that the seed of awakening is alive within you. And when you remember to use it, every action becomes a path of awakening. Every day, a practice of love.